Hey, David Breslow back here with you. In today's mental golf training video tip, I want to talk about the difference between mental game talk and mental game do. You know, I talk to thousands of golfers all around the world, and mental game talk, mental game talk, mental game talk. This whole field of the mental game seems to be a lot of talk, a lot of banter about the mental game, what it is, how good it is for you, how important it is to work on, blah, 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 blah. Talk, 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 talk. Much of this, in my opinion, comes because a lot of it derives from the field of psychology, which, if any of you know anything about me, I don't really get involved in. I'm not a mental game psychological guy. And many people actually don't know that, but if you go to the website and you really take a look, you'll see I'm not a psychology guy. In fact, I don't talk about psychology at all. I'm not really interested in that, and the people that I work with aren't interested in that anymore, at least, either. Here's the deal. Mental game talk is just too much. Too many golfers are already in their, what we call the left brain, and thinking and processing, and are intelligent, and are always thinking and processing things and figuring things out. Many times, though, that takes away from your performance. The mental game does not need to be thought about, thought about, thought about, thought about. Mental game is an activity. It's a do. So it's a process you're involved in. It's interactive. So you want to change things from mental game talk to mental game do. Now, how do you do that? You have a plan for your mental game. You think about the course you're going to play today. You sit down and you figure out, knowing yourself and your weaknesses, let's say, if you know them, you figure out a plan on how you're going to deal with certain things when they come up. So let's say you have a problem at the first tee. Let's say you have a problem on approach shots. Let's say you have a problem with chip shots or putting, 3-foot putts for par or for birdie. You sit down and you take a piece of paper and you do what I call the obstacle list. You divide it into 3 columns. First column is the obstacle. Let's say it's the first tee. You write down problems at the first tee, anxious at the first tee, whatever your obstacle is. The second column is your control list. You ask this question: do I have control over this or not? And generally the answer is no, I don't. Because the obstacle might be your anxiousness, or you're worrying about the first tee, or you're worrying about what other people think, or you're worrying about trying to control everything, blah, 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 whatever it might be. So the second column is your control column. Do I have 100% control over this thing that I'm worrying about or not? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, then third column is your action plan. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to focus on things I have 100% control over. I'm going to check out my alignment. I'm going to focus on things I do have 100% control over. Because I can tell you this, 80 to 90% of the things people put on the first column on their obstacle are things they have less than 100% control over. Which is why it causes all of the nervousness, the anxiousness, the self-doubt, the hesitation in the swing, all the stuff that golfers experience. So be a smart golfer now. Be a wise golfer. Instead of dealing with your experience, why don't you go to the root cause? Because the root cause is that you're focusing on something you have less than 100% control over. Go there and you'll come up with a real solution. So Dave Breslow, glad to be with you once again. Mental Golf Training. Visit me over at www.mentalgolfcoaching.com. Take a look at other free stuff and some other videos. And feel free to leave a message here on cyberspace. Would love to get involved with a conversation with you. So great to be with you. Take care.